So you are welcome again. So in this video, we are going to be talking about attributes, syntax attributes. So I'm going to talk about attributes. They say the starting tag of an element can have special snippets of information we can attach called attributes. Attribute have the key, that is the name of the attribute, and what the value, the keyword, which is the type of attribute you are giving to it, and the value, which is the name that you are giving to that attribute, so that you can reference it or connect to it whenever you are working with your JavaScript or whenever you are working with your CSS file. So attribute is very, very important in HTML page, because they are what you will use to identify the particular element you want to work with on your CSS file. So when we are talking about CSS, you understand better what attribute is, but you have to know what attributes are. And the first attribute we are talking about is the class attribute. Now you can see that from this first example that we have here, let me zoom it for you to see. It has a class. It's a paragraph tag. I've talked about the paragraph tag in our previous videos. Is a tag, the paragraph tag. So it has a attribute, and the name of the attribute is called a class. So the attribute is called a class. A class attribute is just that the way you have JS1 class. Everybody inside JS1, all the students inside JS1, their names are under JS1 class. So that's how the class attribute is. You can give different elements the same class name, just like the way we can have 100 people in one class, and all of them are you can group them under JS1. So when you say everybody in JS1 come, all the students in JS1, they will just run to you once. So they are under that class. So that's what the class name do. So it means that you can give various HTML elements the same class name. So you are getting it. You can give them the same class name. So you can give this class name is called what? A class. A class as in class A. I can go to H1 tag and give that H1 tag class A. I can go to link tag and give a link tag class A. I can use a select tag and give a select tag class of class A. So I can give as many elements. Many elements in your HTML file can have one class name. But the next attribute we are talking about is called the ID. So you said that you can also use single quote, but using double quote in HTML is a nice convention. So you see that your class name is under a double quote. Don't forget that. So the next tag we are talking about is called what? It's called the ID. The ID. The ID is different from the class tag attribute. The ID attribute is different. You know that when you are in your class, you have your own registration number. Although all of you in that class, you are up to 50, all of you are in one class, you have a specific number that only yourself have that number. That number is your registration number. It's called your ID. So this ID attribute you cannot share to anybody. It's just for you and you alone. So the ID is not like the class that you can give to as many people. It is specific. So if I'm giving, like this paragraph tag is having an ID of an ID, I cannot go and give another paragraph tag an ID. It will not work. I cannot go and give a H1 tag an ID, or a link tag, or a anchor tag, or footer tag, or any other of this tag and this same ID. No. So each element you give specific ID to a particular element. They don't share ID, so that when you want to work with your CSS, you can easily locate just this particular code, this particular block of line of code on your HTML file in your CSS file specifically. Because I can give multitudes of people this class name now, but I just want to use my CSS to style. Let me explain. In the next video, I'm going to do a practical explanation of what I'm talking about. I'm going to use we're going to go a little. I don't want to go to CSS this week. This next week we'll talk about, towards the end of the week, we'll talk about CSS, and probably next week we'll go into JavaScript and we'll do something else. So I will use, in next video I'm going to do a practical explanation of what I'm talking about, a class and an ID, so that you will understand. But let me just read through what we have here. It said the class and an ID attribute are two of the most common you will find used. They have a special meaning. They are useful both in CSS and JavaScript. The difference between the two is that an ID is unique in the context of a web page. It cannot be duplicated. Classes, on the other hand, can appear multiple times on multiple elements, what I just explained to you. So in the next video we'll do it practically.